Today we're going to introduce you to Nutrilicious Eating. It's all about balancing your meals and enjoying what you eat. My guest today is Rachael Richardson, a culinary nutritionist, and she's going to show us how to make a salad. What are you going to turn us on today?
Well, possibly a few things, but the most important thing today is all about culinary nutrition, which is the marriage of good food and good for you. So today we're going to be making a spinach, strawberry, walnut salad with an almond crusted chicken. And basically every ingredient in this meal is power packed with nutrition, so there are absolutely no empty calories here, which I think is fantastic as a nutritionist. So we've got some spinach here, which is super dark green and rich in all the different antioxidants. Green is the magic color, the one that represents every color of the food rainbow in terms of antioxidant capacity. We've also got strawberries that are super rich in nutrition, vitamin C specifically, but we've also got walnuts rich in omega-3 fatty acids, good for the brain. We've got limes that we're going to be including in the dressing, garlic that we're going to be including in several different aspects of the recipe, almond flour that's rich in calcium, rich in minerals, seed of life, and we've got, of course, chicken, which is organic and free range. We always want our meat to be coming from a good source, a source where it's actually happy, a happy chicken. So we've got that, and then of course we've got some happy eggs as well. So we're going to be mixing all these things together. It's simple, it's easy, it's fun, and it's especially nutritious for your body, and you're going to love it.
So Rachael, I noticed that you have a couple of interesting ingredients to go in this salad,
yeah, absolutely,
which I like. The coconut oil and the almond flour, as well as the Himalayan salt. Could you tell us a little bit about those?
Of course. So I do use some really specific ingredients, and again, they have functionality. So they're more than just food in the body, they're actually playing a function in our health. So starting with the coconut oil, I use this stuff in so many different aspects of cooking, but we're definitely going to use it to cook our chicken in today. And coconut actually is a functional food. It's antimicrobial in nature, so it actually fights bacteria and viruses and fungus and all different kinds of microbes.
So I can use that on my skin, right?
You can use it on your skin, internally, externally, the whole thing. And you know what I find interesting about this coconut oil is they actually, because coconuts grow in a tropical climate, they are so susceptible to different mold and fungal and bacterial overgrowth. So because of that, they had to develop a property, a chemical, a compound to help prevent that. So that gets transposed when we eat it in our bodies. Wow. So that's, yeah, pretty cool stuff, right?
Absolutely.
So the almond flour, this is something that I use as a complete replacement in many cases, and definitely today, to crust our chicken in. And it's used instead of white flour or even wheat flour. So one of the big topics of concern these days is gluten.
Right.
And gluten is a protein that's found in wheat and white flour, anything that comes from the wheat plant. And gluten, its application is that it can be inflammatory in nature, and so with most of my patients and clients, I cut wheat out of their diet and they feel much, much better. So using almond flour actually adds more flavor, adds more nutrients, and it takes away that gluten. So that's the purpose there. And then you wanted to know about the sea salt, right?
Yeah, I love it. I use salt myself personally.
Yeah, so this is some interesting stuff. So a lot of people think of sea salt or salt as something negative for the cardiovascular system, that it raises blood pressure. But when you actually use the sea salt, and you can see this stuff is rich in color. Color is the key when it comes to nutrition. The more color a food has, the more packed it is with nutrition. So in this case, this is very rich in some antioxidants, but also specifically minerals. And whereas the salt attracts water into the blood and can raise blood pressure, those other complementary minerals in sea salt actually help to relax the neurovascular system. So it actually helps with blood pressure in some ways. So now we're going to get to the meat of the matter. So we're actually going to start to coat our chicken in our almond flour. So what I've got here is some chicken cutlets. They're already pre-sliced for us. You can cut them yourself, or you can buy them like that. Again, the key ingredient here is that they're grass-fed and they're organic, ideally. We're going to also do the same thing with our eggs, being organic, and we're going to just go ahead and crack them open. And thank you, Sean.
My pleasure.
We'll go ahead and crack 2 eggs here. We've got some garlic inside this egg mixture as well. Thank you.
I'm going to get you a whisk.
Thank you. So in the meantime here, again, we're using this almond flour because it has so many rich nutrients. Nuts are like the seed of life. They have all the minerals necessary for life to grow. So we're going to go ahead and whisk these eggs with my culinary chef assistant here.
You're so kind.
Thank you, we're good. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a piece of chicken and I'm just going to dip it good. So this coats the chicken and actually helps it so that it sticks, the almond sticks to it. And then I'm going to go ahead and dip it into the almond flour. And this has added to it, of course, that sea salt.
You already added the sea salt to the almond flour?
Yeah, we're good. Thank you. And we're gonna go ahead and dip a couple slices here. Make sure it's nice and breaded. Of course, this is healthy breading. It's paleo breading. We'll go ahead and do a third slice, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I'm hungry.
I'm hungry too.
I don't see any pepper.
Yeah, go ahead and add some pepper. You can add any spices that you want. If you want to cut some fresh herbs, if you want to add some basil, some cilantro, anything that you love, please feel free to add. We're making this very simple, so you don't need a lot of things. So now we're going to go ahead and start cooking the chicken. We've got the pan heating over here, so follow us over. Are you ready, Sean?
Absolutely.
All right, let's cook up some chicken. So here's our coconut oil. I'm pretty liberal. I'm not a big anti-fat person.
Really?
Yeah, because it's so nutritive. It's so valuable, and when you don't have all those extra processed carbs in your diet, you can afford a little extra fat.
Absolutely.
So there's that. I'm gonna add a little
nice. It's melting
garlic
right away.
Yeah, it's beautiful stuff.
Oh my God, the garlic smells so good.
Isn't it delicious? So now you can go ahead and add, probably all 3 pieces will fit in there. And I'm cooking this on a medium to low heat. We try not to overcook our food because we don't want our oils to degrade in nature. We want them to maintain their integrity. So the lower the heat that you can use, the better. And we're gonna cook it for probably about 3 minutes on each side since they're thin pieces. If they were thicker pieces, more like 5 to 6 minutes on each side. So I think this chicken's ready to turn. What do you think,
It's
Sean?
getting there.
We good?
It's getting there. It's already halfway cooked up the side.
Yep, so we'll go ahead and flip it.
Yeah. It smells so good.
It's gonna need a little extra flip. So in the meantime, while our chicken is cooking, we can go ahead and toss up our salad. You ready? You ready?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it. So here we have our spinach, which we're gonna use as our base, of course. We're gonna add our olive oil, as you can see, and toss it up. So we're adding some garlic as well, and we're adding some apple cider vinegar. We're gonna also add some lime juice. We're going to go ahead and add our strawberries and our walnuts. Strawberries, again, are very rich in nutrition. Our walnuts, in particular, are super rich in omega-3. They're probably the highest omega-3 nut that exists. We're gonna also add our Celtic sea salt. As you can see, this stuff is pink. Like we showed you originally in that rock, we ground it up. And now we have this pink sea salt that's rich not just in the sodium, but also the whole spectrum of minerals. And then we're just gonna really touch it off with a little bit of raw honey. Honey is probably one of the best forms of sugar that we can use. It does have glucose inside of it, but it's in its natural format, so it doesn't have, it's not processed to the point where it has such a high glycemic index. Now we're gonna go ahead and plate up this meal, and as you can see, Sean's doing a beautiful job kind of adding some color in the strawberries. And we can go ahead and top, we can save some extra strawberries and walnuts for the end and top it off ourselves as well to add color to the plate, so it's on top. And we're adding our chicken that's been breaded with the almond flour and cooked in coconut oil, 2 very nutritive, functional foods. And basically the salad's ready to go. It contains approximately 300 to 350 calories. So we have a Nutrilicious meal like we promised you, and we're gonna enjoy it right now. So I hope you're enjoying it at home too. Bon appetit!